Before I ask the final one, I want to make sure you guys do get the book. This is a game changer. Again, it's a short read. For me, it took me four hours, which for me is very fast. So make sure you guys go get the book. Unshakable.com.
I should also mention my co-author, because I haven't had a co-author ever, but it's Peter Mallouk. And I want you to know the reason I picked Peter, he's the only man in history to be picked, for 3 years in a row as the #1 wealth manager in America by Barron's. No one's won 3 years in a row. 2 years in a row by CNBC, it was the last 2 years. And this year again by Fortune. And I'm his partner, so you know now. So when I wrote Money Master the Game, one of the things I did is I donated all the money just like I did here. But I also wanted people to know about fees. We talked about that briefly, and we talk about in this book. Fees destroy your wealth.
They do.
And people have no clue. Little 1%, 2% fees. So I created a site where people could go and they could put in all their accounts and they could see what they're really paying. Well, and then if they wanted to work with someone, and I highly recommend somebody work with someone, you can do it on your own, but it's usually smart to work with someone, but you got to get somebody who's talented and you got to get somebody,
right?
Yes, who's legally responsible to support you. Now, here's one of the things you need to know. There's 310,000 financial professionals in the United States. 310,000. They have every name. Financial advisor, wealth manager, wealth manager. But 90% of them are brokers. There's nothing wrong with a broker, but a broker works for the house. And if you hear about all the abuses of these financial companies, it's not because they're mean and wrong. Their goal is to maximize the profits for their shareholders. You're not a shareholder, you're an investor on your own. The only way to get more money for shareholders is charge you more fees.
Yeah.
So everything is about bursting those fees. So I put the site together, and then I recommended fiduciaries, people that aren't brokers. Again, out of 310,000, there's only 31,000 in the whole country.
Wow.
So I put together the questions to ask, the things to do, and a site, and then I recommended 10 of these people.
You have 7 questions in there to ask.
I do in here. Yeah. But when I did my first book, the problem was that a bunch of these people that are fiduciaries, that are legally responsible, like if they tell you buy Apple this morning and they buy it tonight for less money, they have to give you your stock. That's how strong the law is. But I found out afterwards, Peter called me up. Peter's the #1, broker, or the #1 registered investment advisor in the country. So I was like, I listened to him. He said, I want to come meet you. There's some gray areas of the law that these guys are abusing. And I found out some of the biggest guys in the world that are registered investment advisors, the 10%, they're not the 10%. They're called duly registered. It means one moment they're telling you, I'm here for you. You're only paying me this little flat fee or this percentage, but I'm not getting any commission. I'm not going to recommend anything to you but the best because I'm incentivized. I'm like a dietitian. I'm not getting paid like a butcher to sell you meat. I'm only showing you what to do. And in the middle of the conversation, they switch hats and they become a broker and you don't know it. And they sell you a bunch of shit that is horrible, but they do it because they make the most money on it. Right? So I can tell you 10 of those. So Peter taught me that. So I kicked everybody off the site. And I said, Peter, what if you and I became partners? You're the #1 in the world. But I said, to do it, I'd want you to do something different. He does something really special. Most billionaires have what's called a home office. Home office is like 10 or 12 people, 7 or 8 people. One focuses on your investment. One focuses on your mortgages. One focuses on the taxes and legal, because taxes eat up so much of your money.
Yeah.
He built home offices for business, just normal business people that have like $1 million. I convinced him to build a whole division for people with as little as $50,000. Now he doesn't make any money on them, right? Because he gets less than 1%, 85 basis points, less than 1%. But I said, look, you do this, you give back to the community, you're going to keep building your brand. And we've gone from 17 billion a year ago to 23 billion in assets with Peter. So I'm on his board. Yeah.
Nice.
I'm so I'm also the head of investor psychology. And so if you decide to go and you want to get him to do a study for you or do a plan for you, he'll do it for free. You just go to getasecondopinion.com. Getasecondopinion.com. He'll do a plan for you. And then if you want to do business with him, it's less than 1%. If you don't, you can do it on your own. But I do want you to know, if you do that, I benefit. I donate my money, but I benefit from it because I'm part of that firm, so you know. But, this is a cool way for you to be able to make a comparison to what else is there.
Yeah, awesome.